What's up, ladies and gents? Thank you, P30 here. I hope everyone's having a great day. So, welcome back to Uncharted 4, where I don't know how to use a Python. I didn't even know how it was pronounced until I looked it up on the internet. I thought it was Python, but some lady on the internet who said how it was pronounced was Python. So, this is essentially how you use this thing. You got to use it as an extra ledge, because Nate doesn't seem to have any like leg power jumping off from the Python to climb onto the other ledge. See, expert use of the Python right here, because I thought Nate was just gonna grab onto one of the ledges, but since there's more space with the kind of like the pockmarked cliff face there, gotta use the Python. It's just like a thing now, and it, you know, it adds a lot of adventure and some daredevilness to it. Look, there's like a Python space, right? I'm just gonna keep saying Python.
Oh shit! Oi, oi! Target.
Saw something, maybe. Movement along the tree line.
That thick jungle over there, eh? It's all moving. I don't see anything.
Damn it. All right, everyone. False alarm, but keep an eye out. Let's go.
You know, after a couple of parts, I wasn't actually expecting a place where I could stealth and take out enemies. I was actually expecting to explore a bit more.
Nothing.
So I really should have looked up there, and I'm glad that the guy barely saw me, and he didn't look down the cliff face. So I'm using the Python again for an extra ledge, an extra handhold, if you will. Just wait for this guy to go left. I mean, who the hell wears a red hat in the jungle? I feel like that would be just, like, a little obvious. It stands out. So, I'm just gonna chill here because I don't know where any enemies are, and apparently there was one right behind me.
Wait.
Someone took him out!
What the? Alright.
And that was close. I actually forgot some of the AI routines here, that they can actually see bodies. So I was chilling there for a bit, but I decided to move up here, and that guy kind of looks like a Sam clone, I think. So from here I paused, because I wasn't sure what the heck the mark button was, and it was L3. I remember when I played that the first time, that was really weird. So as soon as I remembered, or actually looked it up, I paused the game and looked at the controller configuration. I gotta use it with reckless abandon now. Because there are
Over here.
You? I got nothing.
Do some recon. I'm checking here.
Sure thing, man.
there are a lot of enemies that can sneak up on you, and marking them is really important. And I'm glad this guy went over here, because that's just one less down. Alright, so, you notice the guy go, huh? He noticed that body over there. If you're noticing, I gotta go with some edits here, because when I did this, the whole, like, the raw footage, it took about, like, 45 minutes or so to get through this whole thing. And I don't want this to be, like, 2 parts of stealthing. I think that's, like, a little too much, and we gotta get through the story, you know? So this jungle is huge. I'm just glad there are a lot of hiding places here. At least strategic ones, where Nate can move in from tall foliage to tall foliage. Well, at least crouch height foliage. So we're marking more enemies here. This is a good view because we got like a height advantage. And from somebody who plays a lot of stealth games, it's good to just observe, keep the camera still, at least that's what I do, and see if there's any movement. And when that happens, usually it's an enemy. I mean, especially for this game, it's usually an enemy. And after you do that, you just mark them, set it and forget it, and when you have to face him again, or get close to him, just, you got the marker ready to go. We got another red cap guy coming through. It's a lot of waiting in this game because Nate doesn't have a whistle, like, at all. I mean, it would have been helpful, but it does add to the challenge, I think. Because the enemies do roam around in a lot of places. It's not just regular patrol routes for these guys. I mean, that guy came down from the bottom, and he went all the way up here just to patrol. So we got the Sam clone coming through, taking them out. I mean, Nate's just killing these guys, essentially. He's cracking their necks and everything. So I decided to head down, because I pretty much took care of everyone that was up above. And all the enemies that I saw were just down below already, so I had to sneak my way down through here. Just carefully. Because you never know how many guys are just going to randomly show up. So this guy comes right at me. And he's like, no, I'm good. He just turns around. That was such a tease, man. There's 3 of them, too. There's 3 guys that are, like, dressed the same. So that third guy who actually came up after those 2 went up on the rocks, he came down, took him out. And this is what happens. You don't see people. Look at that shit. He just came up from right behind me. And I didn't notice because I was focusing on that guy. And this is when everything kind of goes to shit. I knew there was a guy there as I broke that guy's neck, but I didn't expect him to round the corner like that, so that kind of sucked. But as long as you stay in the foliage over here, they're not even coming back for us. So we pretty much have to back up, retreat a little bit, and regroup, and do it again. So most of the enemies are forward. They're not over here where I got spotted. So I gotta, like, sneakily keep moving forward, use the rope, and that was lucky. Because I thought I was going on another ledge. And I'm glad there was a ledge down there for Nate to climb on. So I was going down and around and to the right. I was a little hesitant to cross here. I wasn't exactly sure if there were any enemies that might see me. But I just took the risk, grabbed some ammo, grabbed some grenades that I actually didn't really use in this episode. And I hung out over here on this pillar that you can just hang on. Marked some enemies, but there are a lot of enemies in that area you see right ahead. There's so many guys to mark too. I marked those 2 guys if you were wondering. I just needed to cut that through. So there's one guy who happened to just jump across. I did not expect him to do that. I thought he was just going to chill over there. So I'm just hanging on this rock, hoping he doesn't see me. And this got really tense because he was right there. Right on the edge with his weapon aimed. And I'm just hanging here and he just doesn't know it. I got so lucky. I think I'll remember this moment from, like, if I remember past moments in Uncharted, because that was one of those organic moments that was actually pretty cool. I never expected. And he probably didn't expect that either. No death scream or anything either. That was like a stealth jump, I think. I was proud of that jump. So as that guy moved over to the right, I just headed over here because I saw one of the guys I marked earlier. And there's some crouchy grass that I can get behind. As a stealth player, knowing there are other people around you, you gotta make sure you can take a lone guy out. So I keep moving forward here. And I notice there's like way more enemies. And a sniper that just happens to patrol this way and aims in the same direction that I'm going through. So after that, I was like, oh man. It's like, how am I going to get around this? So essentially what I was thinking is like, I got to move around. At least forward when the sniper's not there. And see if I can take out any of these guys on the bottom at some point. So there's another guy that we had marked. There's a lot of guys that just like come out hidden out of nowhere that you don't see. And usually those are the guys that take you out. So this guy, luckily, patrolled over here. Got to take him out on this side. I got lucky on that one. Right, so at this point, the enemies just stayed there. So I just decided to make a move, and I just said, screw it. I'm just going to kill this guy. And then run away. Because I was pretty much there for sitting for maybe like 10 minutes. Just trying to figure out if any enemies were going to patrol this way. And they didn't at all. So I had to cause a ruckus. I had to get that guy.
So far.
Had to get that guy out of the way.
Clear so far.
So
Come on, let's push him into the open. Roger that.
So we're back here. I pushed in forward a bit more. Took out that guy from above. I love those air punches, man. They're really awesome to do. They don't happen too often. At least for me. So I decided to take this guy out, but I didn't get shot, thankfully. Sniper's aiming at me. I got hurt a little bit, but I'm hiding in the grass. They don't know I'm here. This is one of the
I don't see him.
this is one of the tensest moments on this level because I fully expected them to see me.
Grid, gentlemen.
So you guys saw all these cuts, right? Like, those are the 3 times that I couldn't stealth this part, but I think I did a pretty good job earlier. So I was just kind of waiting for any one of these guys to like split apart from each other. But they keep patrolling. They're pretty good. They're still on alert. But eventually the non-sniper, he will drop down right there. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go after the sniper. Slowly. You won't hear me. Just take him out. So we just got one guy left. I think he's like a heavy. At least he has more armor than the rest of the guys. At least the guys with the red caps on. So I figure, let's take him out from above, since he's patrolling down below. Thought I was going to use the P30 there, but I didn't have to. Like, I love moments like this, like I'm stalking prey. Like, he doesn't know I'm up above, like I'm some kind of panther, like jaguar. So you know those shots where the camera pans up, and then you just see somebody like jumping from tree to tree? You don't know what it is? It's Nate. I mean, I love these stealth sections that the Naughty Dog added in this game. It's in my wheelhouse. So, like, if there's any kind of like stealth in any kind of game, I always try to utilize it like as best I can. So, we got Nate relaxed now. He's not crouching anymore. He's not in a defensive stance. So we're pretty much done with that part, and pretty much go to the next part after this using the P30. So yeah, that's actually going to be it for the end of this episode of Uncharted 4 as I get more practice using that P30. So yeah, if y'all made it this far, thanks for watching. And as always, take care and Tengu P30 out. Alright, y'alls. Game on, everybody. And keep smiling.